All right, back to trying to start the tractor. I was actually out here yesterday and took a quick look at something. I didn't have much time, but I'll show you that in a minute. Bringing a battery out today with a good charge. Smartened up, stole my kid's wagon temporarily. And other than having to unload it to pass it over the locked gate, this is definitely a much better situation than carrying that thing. Ah, there she is. Had to unload the wagon and get across some muddy spots, but boy, I'll tell you, I was able to get down here with this battery without even breaking a sweat today. Humidity's low, less today too, so. Yesterday when I came out here, I took a look at this puppy, and one of the things I came across on the parts breakdown. Well, let me back up for a second. First off, I don't think I updated everybody on what I found out about this injector pump. When I was out here that night trying to read this label on this injector pump, I thought for sure it said BOS something and whatever, but what it actually says is ROOS, and there's probably an A I can't see, and then Master. So what this is a Rusa Master pump. There were basically two manufacturers that they used injection pumps from for these engines, and Rusa Master was one, and the other one was Bosch. Now the Bosch injector pump, the where all your lines hook up on the Bosch pump is actually on the top. So you've got this part on the back of the pump that's sticking out the back here would actually be sticking up like a tower on the top. And that's what the Bosch pump looks like. So this is a Rusa Master pump, and when I went and looked in the paperwork I had gotten with the tractor, I was given a parts book for the 770, and there was a breakdown of the parts for the Rusa Master pump and the Bosch pump. But on the Rusa Master pump, it clearly showed what looked like some kind of a screen or an inlet right here. So in other words, disconnect this line, unscrew right here, and what comes out is a long cone-shaped screen with a little like check valve thing in it. So when I saw that in the diagram, I got excited because I thought, wow, imagine if that's just plugged up. So I came out here yesterday to check it, even though I didn't have a battery. I figured, well, I could at least check it, and if it was really plugged up, I could take it back to the shop and clean it. Well, what ended up happening was I disconnected the line, I took it out. It was clean as a whistle. No rust, no corrosion, and not only that, but when I looked down into the opening of the pump, there was nice, clean, fresh diesel fuel in there. So I know my diesel fuel is getting all the way up to this pump. So that's the the good news is that I didn't see the corrosion and debris in there that I feared might have gotten and damaged the pump. So that's the good news. The bad news is we still got a no-start situation. One of the other things I learned online was that if the return line, which is right here, comes out of the top right here and goes here, and it goes to each one of these injectors to something they call, I believe, a drip return or something like that. So the return line comes out of the pump, goes through a series circuit of piping through every single one of the injectors, and then goes through this little tube here back to the tank. If that has a blockage in it, that can cause the engine not to run. But I believe the symptom there would be that the engine would start, it would run for a very short amount of time, build pressure, and then shut down. So I don't believe that's my problem either, but that's just something I thought I'd mention because it's something I came across. So if you get a blockage from between here and the tank, so if I had compressed air, we would disconnect this right here and we'd try and blow through there and see if we could hear the air going into the tank, and that would indicate that this was clear. There's also possibility of a check valve somewhere in this circuit, and I'm not sure where. That might be this little device right here, but I'm not sure about that. But what I want to do today, because I'm back out here today, is I want to give it another try. I want to wire it so that that lift pump, that 12-volt electric lift pump that somebody had installed in this thing, will stay running while I'm trying to crank it and maintain pressure, because I notice it seems to lose pressure after I crank it a little bit. I reactivate the pump, it goes tick 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 tick, which is it's building pressure. So that means that while it's cranking, it's losing pressure. So I'm wondering whether or not I just got to maintain constant pressure to help prime this pump. So it's just a theory, but it's worth a shot. Alright, so all I did now was I moved this wire, this red wire, from this post to this post. So now 12 volts is going to that pump. And after the initial rapid ticking, it's now settled down and it's just doing a steady tick, tick, tick. So now I'm going to try and start the engine. We're going to use no ether because it shouldn't need it. It's a warm day. Ether is a cold start aid for very cold temperature starts, winter starting, that kind of thing. And I know it helps old engines, but I want to see if this thing will start without it. So let's set up the camera and see if we can't get a decent picture of what's going on here. I think that's it. Alright, wish me luck. Still looks like we got the same problem. I'm gonna give it a little more try, and I'm hearing a ticking sound over by the. I don't know. It sounds like it's coming from the hydraulic. Not the hydraulic. It sounds like it's coming from this side of the engine over by the injector pump. Okay, not happening. All right, now I think I'm going to crack the return line and see if fuel comes out of the return line out of the pump. Okay, I was having trouble getting this fitting off down here, so I decided to disconnect it where it goes into this first injector, and fuel's dripping out at a pretty good clip right there. So I think I've got it loosened up enough. Try cranking and see what happens. Oh, that was weird. Camera shut off. Hey, maybe it fell asleep because I was boring it. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the line to the fuel injector. Oh yeah, I forgot another basic thing that I wanted to check. Up to this point, I've made the assumption that I'm getting good air, and I haven't even looked inside this filter canister, so I have no idea what's in there. Now, I don't know why I would have had no problem with it running and then it, suddenly gets blocked. I could see if, like, from day one of it sitting a long time, it wasn't starting there, because you got wasp nests or whatever in there, and whatever. So I do want to check. So this is the intake manifold, your heater. You get a hose that goes over to the top of that filter housing, and there's no gate. It's not like on my two-stroke diesel where you got a door that you can trip that shuts off the airflow to the engine to kill the engine. It's like an emergency shutdown. I don't see anything like that on here. So let's take this oil bath filter apart and see what's in there. Oh man, is that nasty. Wow. Huh. Well, that's not good. Alright, wouldn't it be great if it was as simple as this? This is supposed to have oil in it, and what's supposed to happen is, I think the design of this is the air is supposed to go straight down this tube, come out this tube at the bottom right here, and turn, and then go back up through this air filter canister that's in there, which I can't get out. It's jammed in there tight. And then get into the, come out the top here and go to the intake manifold. Well, this is obviously full all the way up to the top here, and it's contaminated with water. So wouldn't it be great if it was just water had gotten in there and filled it up to the point where it was so high that it was way above this tube, and it was completely blocking the bottom of this filter, and that the thing just couldn't get any air. Now, I'd love to pull this filter out completely and just try and run it with the filter out, but it's really stuck in there and I can't get it to want to budge. I'm not sure if I'm not pulling it out correctly or what the deal is, but it's not coming out, guys, so I don't know. But just for giggles, I'm thinking I might try cranking it with it open like that, because now with this open, all of this goop has dripped off and kind of exposed enough of the bottom of this filter that maybe it'll suck some air. Then again, none of that would explain why I'm not getting any fuel to the injectors. Right? Right. If I'm still not getting fuel to the injectors, it doesn't matter about the air, really, does it? But I'm getting smoke out, so I must be getting some fuel to the injectors. Huh. Alright, well, let's see what happens. Alright, no improvement there. No improvement there.